I would like to thank the organizers for this summit because it has brought many players, the decision makers, but also the policy makers, and also the financiers, and the interested companies who can also sell the equipment, but also develop the projects within our countries. It is very good that we interacted with many countries in the globe. It was not limited for Africa. Although the title says Africa Oil and Gas Summit, but it was covering everything because energy is the driver of any economy. If you look at countries like Singapore, Malaysia, Korea, Japan, China, they've gone further because they invested a lot in the energy sector. You can't talk about health without touching energy. You can't talk about education without energy. You can't talk about water utilities without energy. So energy is the driver of the economy. Africa is full of natural resources, but we can't mine. Even sand, we can't even make out of sand to make titanium because we don't have much energy in order to run the smelters. We need energy in order to have our products being done in Africa. Value addition should be done in Africa so that all the natural resources, whether you're talking about timber, you're talking about minerals, you're talking about any development about gas, energy, about water, it can be done in Africa without getting any hiccups because the countries in Africa, they are so well connected. If you look at the Great Rift Valley, the rivers, the lakes from the Great Lakes region, from Victoria in Uganda, you come up to Tanzania, Lake Tanganyika, and then you come into Malawi, Lake Malawi, and then it goes into Zambezi. Zambezi pours into Indian Ocean. So the country or the continent is so rich with the different resources. And what we need is to unite as region and we do the regional projects.
Perfect, thank you. What are the most pressing challenges in your power sector?
The most challenging thing is that as a country, Malawi, we have not invested a lot in the energy sector. The hydropower plants which we are using at the moment, they were commissioned in 1966. And the population by that time, it was less than 1,000. Or the demand of power was less. Today, the demand of power is so huge. The country has got 20 million people. And with that 20 million people, it's only 10% who has access to energy. But also, as I've said, that these are old power plants. What we need as a country is that every year or every 5 years, we should at least add something to the national grid. Because without investing in the energy, then we are not talking about industry. Because most of the industry today, they are modernized equipment, which needs most of power. You can't talk about agriculture because my forefather, was a peasant. And today, he must graduate from a peasant to a commercial farmer. So commercial farmers need also high-tech knowledge of equipment. So the challenge we have is that most of our power plants are under one river and we depend on hydro. On the 24th and 25th of January, one of the downstream power plant was hit by Cyclone Ana, and we lost the dam, and at the end result, we have lost about 130 megawatts. So a country with the 444 megawatts and you lose 130, that's very, very bad, because it is like 30% of the power generated is all gone. So we need to have a quick solutions. With the resources which we have, natural resources which we have, we need to have mini grids. These mini grids is a quick win solution, because when you go to a certain area where there is a perennial river, you can have a small mini grid which can save that area. All solar grid which can save also that area, rather than waiting to connect them to the national grid. That will take long way to go. If indeed we want sustainable energy for all, goal number 7, to be achieved in 2025, 2026 or 2063, we need to move with this pace, not of the old pace. We need to move very fast by developing the mini grids, off grids. These are the ones which can help our countries to develop. Because in that area, there is also mining activity which can take place. So with that 3 megawatts, 4 megawatts, which can be developed in that area, it will be sufficient for that area, rather than to have a national grid. Another challenge which we have is that we have not given our people, those who are cutting down trees, deforestation, the issues of climate change. Climate change is here. Climate change is real. But we need also to give them a substitute. A transition period, when we are talking about transition, let's start with those people who are making deforestation and also making the issue of climate change, or the rivers. The rivers, we are depending on hydro. The rivers will dry up because of cutting down trees. So we need afforestation to take place, but also to give those people who are cutting down trees for charcoal, to give them something which can stop them cutting down trees. The climate change is real and we are going to face it, but we need to safeguard our natural resources.
Perfect, thank you. And the last question, what is your message to investors regarding power projects in your country?
I would like to urge the investors that when they are coming, before signing the power purchase agreements, we should also understand one another, that the people whom we want to serve, because this is a calling. You are an investor, but you are in the field where you are going to save lives. You are going to have your power at the clinic. For example, we are receiving vaccines, but those vaccines without power can be just destroyed because of the lifespan, because of no power to keep those vaccines. Today, many people are moving with gadgets because of the diseases which are within our communities. The dialysis machine needs power. The X-ray needs power. The incubators, the babies who are in the incubators need also power. So investors, when they're coming, yes, there are opportunities, but also they should consider that this is a calling from God and they are going to save lives. If you save one life, it's like you have saved the whole humankind. So when they are coming as investors with their financial models, they should also remove some of the bottlenecks which can deny the country or the underprivileged to have the electricity. We need to have electricity which is affordable and also which is always there. not intermittent power, but affordable power to everybody in the country. Because governments are giving subsidies, but there is also time where government needs to focus into other projects, into other development areas. For example, schools. Today our children are still learning under the tree. So, but we need to first to invest. Those desks should not come from another country, should not come from Europe. The desks should be made in Malawi, locally made. So when the machines are there, the industry is there. So the desks, the beds in the hospitals, some of the machines in the hospitals will be acquired within the region or within the country. So what we need is that let's invest in the energy, and I'm calling upon all the investors in the energy sector to come to Malawi. But for you as a businessman, but also think that you are on the helping hand. You are going to help a child who will be a leader tomorrow. You are going to help a child who will be a doctor tomorrow. You are going to help a child who will be a counselor, who will be a leader in the community and serving the wider community.